Hi everybody and welcome to HMK story time, where obviously if you've been following the last couple of episodes we've been reading a story about Becky. Now this is the first book that I ever got published as a book. It's not the first book I got published as an ebook. The first book I did was Tara and Ted. But anyway, let's get into the last chapter. Now this is going to be the end of Becky, so it's been a pleasure reading this to you. So let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, my dearest Becky, know that when you read this that we have passed away and that we always love you. The paperwork you will be given to sign will allow you to access the bank account we made for you. When me and your mother were young, we went to America and stumbled on a small town in the middle of nowhere, and thinking we could find a motel room for the night, we parked up our bikes and found out it was a ghost town. We had a good look around and called in the local police and asked if they knew about it, and they said no. According to local law, we were told that as we had found the town, we were allowed to look around but not touch anything. Well, after a few days they found some gold bullion in the local bank, and this was then given back to the American bank, and we were compensated, and we thought about our future and invested 50% of the money into a trust fund for our children. Your mother found out she could only have one child, but we were so happy. We are sorry for the pain you must be feeling, but we love you and we will always be with you. Love you always, Mum and Dad. Becky handed the letter to Vicky, and the bank manager handed over the papers for Becky to sign. Miss Faithhill, I have managed your account and I am happy to say that you're very well off. Money does not mean much to me at the moment. I understand, but your parents said I had to tell you and make sure you understood. There is of course only one condition they asked. Which is? Asked Becky. To scatter their ashes in the sea so their spirits can carry on travelling the world. I see. You're to be told how much you have as well. Becky sighed. How much? According to my current information, £10 million. Becky and Vicky were speechless. Did we hear right? They both said. Yes. Now I'm sorry ladies, but I have a busy day and my secretary will finish the rest of the paperwork for you and give you all the necessary information about your account. Thank you for your time, said Becky. You're welcome, Miss Faithhill. As they both walked out, they were both speechless. When all the paperwork was done and Becky was handed over her new account details and card, she turned to Vicky. John cannot know about this, please. Why? I don't want him thinking I will leave him now I have money. Please, Vicky. I do love your brother and I don't want to hurt him, and I need time to think about this. I understand and I won't tell him. You must tell him soon, as trust is a big thing for you both. I know. Now let's go and have dinner on me. Where shall we go? I don't know. I feel like a pub, but we're in London, so why not let's go to a posh restaurant instead. Vicky laughed and so did Becky. They arrived home that evening laughing and feeling happy that Becky asked if she could see John, and Vicky smiled. Don't forget he's totally confused and we have the funeral next week, so don't do anything drastic. I have been seeing your brother for over a year and not once has he made a move on me. It's about time he did, or I'll think that he does not love me. He loves you, said Vicky. Then why has he not made a pass at me? He wants to be sure. He will be sure tonight. I'm going to make that clear. Vicky pulled up to the house and Mark came out and looked at them both but said nothing and took the bags into the house, and they walked into their room. Becky's maid Fiona, as always, ran her a bath and sorted out her things. Fiona, would you mind moving my night things into the master bedroom, please? I'm not allowed to do that, miss. That's out of bounds for me. Who can do this for me? Mark, miss. Will you fetch Mark for me, please? Yes, miss. Some time later, Mark came in and bowed. Please, Mark, we've got to know each other, so please don't bow. Sorry, miss, no can do. Fiona tells me that John's room is out of bounds to me. Why? His orders, miss. I'll be staying the night and would not like to wander around this wonderful house on my own, guessing where I need to go to John's room. I understand, miss, but until you're man and wife, his room is out of bounds. Thank you, Mark. I understand. Sorry, miss, he's a good boss and I've never disobeyed him. Mark left and Becky went to find Vicky in her rooms and told her of what had happened. Yes, I know about his stupid rule, but it's his house and we all love him. If I had to be his wife, I want some things in his room. So have you made up your mind about my brother then? Yes. When is John due home? About 8 p.m. tonight. He's visiting the farmers. I take it you're staying? Yes. How long for? Apparently, if John will have me. Vicky laughed and smiled. He will not understand and you will have to be strong. I know he can be like a bull in a china shop, and I'm still worried why he's not made a pass at me in all this time, said Becky. I will dismiss the staff after dinner so you two can have time alone and not be disturbed. Thank you, Vicky. Later that night, when John came home, Becky waited on the doorstep with Mark, his butler. John got out of the car and Mark walked down and took the keys, and John looked at Mark. What gives? I don't know, sir. I don't have a clue. John walked up to Becky and looked into her eyes. Becky? She smiled, kissed him, and then put her finger to his lips. Then took his hand, and they went into the dining room, and Becky sat down, and Fiona, her maid, came over, and Becky whispered into her ear, and dinner was served, and all the time Becky just smiled and made small talk. John was totally confused and tried to find out what was going on, but all Becky would do was smile. After dinner, Becky walked out of the dining room and spoke to Mark and Fiona and bid them a good night. They wished him a good evening and left smiling. Becky took John's hand and led him upstairs. You need to go shower and then meet me in my room. John, totally confused, still didn't know what was going on, did as he was told and went and got showered and dressed again. When he knocked on Becky's door, she opened it and he walked in. So tell me, John, one thing. What is that? Why have you not made love to me yet? Becky smiled and walked over to the drinks cabinet and poured out 2 large glasses of neat rum. I'm waiting, John. You love me or you don't. And tonight I want to know, is this going to be a love affair or a fling? My parents are dead. I have no one in my life, no job, as I left today. I'm in a man's house I love dearly, but if you don't tell me how you feel, I will be leaving after my parents are buried and I will not be coming back. She then handed John his drink. He drank it, looked into her eyes, breathing in hard. I don't want a fling or romance or lies or a woman in my life. So what do you want? Are you saying you don't love me? No, I do love you, but I want more than you can give. Becky looked into his eyes and smiled. How do you know what I can and cannot give? I don't, but your sex is not that honest to me of late. Well, I am not like any other woman, John, you should know that. Yes, you've made that clear on several occasions, and I admire you for that. So what is this that I cannot give? I want a wife, a proper wife. Okay, not so hard. You have seen how I live. Yes, I like it. Why is your being your wife so hard? No jeans, no trousers, nothing manly. I hate a woman that dresses like that. And I like long hair. Yet you do not complain when I dress like that. I cannot tell you what to wear. Becky slapped him. She then took off her shirt and jeans and threw them into the fireplace. John looked at her and drank some more rum. When we are married, I will expect you to say how you feel and make sure you treat me well. Is there anything else? Yes, I want a wife that will obey me and do as I ask, even if she does not like it. So, you have something you want to do and you have not found anyone that can do it, correct? Do I need to slap you again? No. Good. Now that is cleared up, I have one condition. What is it? I'll be your wife after the funeral, but if you ever lie to me or are not honest with me again, it will be over. I love you and I do not want to be lied to, and I will expect you to let me do what I want when I want. Very well, said John. Becky drank her rum and then looked at John. It's one of those times now, John, that I want something from you. I know. Then make it happen. John walked over to Becky and lifted her off her feet, and she flung her arms around his neck, and he took her to his room. In the morning, when John got up and Becky was asleep, he smiled and got dressed and went back downstairs into the kitchen and looked for Fiona, Becky's maid. Hello, Fiona. Hello, sir. Please take Becky her breakfast upstairs this morning in my room. Yes, sir. Mark looked up and smiled. I best get started on the wedding then. Yes, I think you better. He then picked up a slice of toast and went into his library and called Vicky, and they had a small chat. When Vicky came into his library, she kissed his cheek and sat down. So, it's about time you said you loved her? I had no choice. She gave me an ultimatum. I thought she would. Where's she now? In bed having breakfast in my rooms. The funeral is in a few days, and she's made it clear that she wants to be married next summer and have a child very soon after. But we have to go to sea before going on a honeymoon. I have no idea how long we will be away. Will you look after everything for me here? Of course I will. She accepted your demands? Slapped me for it. Vicky laughed. And told you to get lost, I hope. Becky walked into the room wearing a dress of deep black. No, Vicky, I told him not to lie to me again. Vicky turned round. You agreed to his sexist demands? Yes. Well, I never, said Vicky. Becky walked over to John and kissed him. Would you mind if me and Vicky go out shopping today? No, not at all. I have things to do as well. You told him yet? Yes, I told him, but I think he's still in a bit of shock. Vicky laughed and got up, and they both left. Mark walked in with the local paper. Strong woman, that, sir. Very. Congratulations, sir. Thanks. Which room should I make into the nursery, sir? That end. Okay. Like I said, that was my very first book called Becky, which is in print and available from amazon.co.uk and amazon.com and all the other ones that whatever country you're in you can get one from. Hope you like this. I have got some other ebooks which will probably be about one or maybe two episodes, and we will get through those again. And I'm doing this to show other people that if you want to write a story, you can do it. Only you can do it. Nobody else can do it. I did it. I was unemployed for 3 years. I wanted to have my own book on the bookshelf. I've done it. There it is. There's the first book on my bookshelf called Becky. I've got another one as well now on my bookshelf called the Black Queen. That is also available to buy as well. That is longer. That's I think 270 odd pages. But it can be done. If you've got a story, a poem, even if it's one page, you can make it into an ebook. If you don't know what an ebook is, Google it. If it's over 25 pages long, Amazon will publish it and make it into a book. Here you go. Look, there it is, 25 pages. Okay. And yeah, we'll carry on with HMK story time, and I'll read more books as I write them, and subscribe, watch the other stuff I do. Above everything now, have fun, stay safe. Bye for now.